The Armenian opposition accused Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan of being weak on the Karabakh issue and protested by declaring him a traitor. According to some sources, Russia will soon stage a coup in Armenia. The Azerbaijani military launched an operation in Nagorno-Karabakh, describing it as an anti-terror operation in the region. This action has sparked outrage among many people in Armenia. Protests have been organized against Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's leadership, particularly in light of significant losses incurred during the attacks, which involved the use of armed unmanned aerial vehicles, artillery systems, and kamikaze drones. The situation reflects the deep-seated tensions and complexities of the conflict in the region. Azerbaijan's military operation has led to internal turmoil in Armenia. In the capital, a group of protesters assembled, calling for the resignation of Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan. It has been reported that the demonstrators frequently chanted slogans such as "Traitor Nikol" and "Shame," reflecting the deep dissatisfaction and frustration among certain segments of the Armenian population. Prime Minister Pashinyan has stated that an attempt to stage a coup against his government is underway. Television and social media videos have depicted hundreds of protesters congregating outside government structures in Yerevan. These protests appear to be in response to a call by opposition parties for people to take to the streets, reflecting a significant and rapidly evolving political situation in Armenia. Pashinyan said, "We must not allow certain people, certain forces to deal a blow to the Armenian state. There are already calls, coming from different places, to stage a coup in Armenia." Currently, there are signs suggesting the potential involvement of Russia in orchestrating a coup in Armenia. Prior to the demise of Yevgeny Prigozhin, the previous head of the Wagner private military corporation, Armenia reportedly harbored 3,000 Wagner mercenaries, as documented by the pro-government Telegram channel Bagramian 26. As per the strategy attributed to the Kremlin, the primary objective is to oust Prime Minister Pashinyan and his administration from authority by deploying the Wagner mercenaries already present within the nation, the report suggests. Additionally, it was noted that the joint military exercise involving Armenian-American troops served as the tipping point for Russian President Vladimir Putin. According to available intelligence, the current count of Wagner mercenaries in Armenia has surged to 12,000 and they have been directed to commence operations. In a Facebook post, Russian journalist Aram Gabrielyanov disclosed that following Armenia's defeat in the 2020 Karabakh War, he had a personal meeting with Chief of the General Staff Onik Gasparian. During this meeting, Gabrielyanov mentioned that influential individuals from Moscow were suggesting the deployment of the military onto the streets to facilitate a transfer of power to a provisional government. As per Gabrielyanov's account, the Chief of the General Staff of Armenia responded by stating that he would comply with such an order if it were issued directly. Two significant actors in this geopolitical and humanitarian development played pivotal roles in the defeat: the Republic of Armenia and Russia. Right from the outset of the conflict, Armenia explicitly stated its non-intervention stance, effectively sealing the fate of Nagorno-Karabakh. Pashinyan was well aware that intervening on behalf of the Armenians leading the enclave would entail the risk of the conflict expanding into Armenian territory. This would involve a war with the Azerbaijani army, which was significantly more powerful than the Armenian forces. In an effort to safeguard Armenia itself, he consequently had to make the difficult decision to prioritize the security of Armenia over that of Nagorno-Karabakh, which ultimately led to the region's sacrifice. Regarding Russia, it adopted a passive stance whether due to strategic considerations or because of its engagement on the Ukrainian front. This passivity can be interpreted as an indication of Moscow's waning influence in the Caucasus region, where other actors, such as Turkey, are asserting their presence and interests. Russia maintains a military base in Armenia and had approximately 2,000 troops deployed in the Nagorno-Karabakh area as part of a prior peace agreement. These troops did not engage, even in their peacekeeping role, during the conflict. However, they played a role in facilitating the ceasefire that resulted in the de facto surrender of the separatist enclave. The Kremlin's actions are unquestionably shaped by its deep antipathy towards Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan, who ascended to power in 2018 following one of the color revolutions that Vladimir Putin strongly disapproves of. Pashinyan, with his liberal stance, forged amicable ties with Western nations, a disposition that Moscow views with great disfavor. The Azerbaijani army's actions in establishing this new balance of power are also challenging Russia's influence in the region. However, Tatyana Poloskova from Russia says, no coup will radically change the situation. Whoever comes to power in Yerevan, the game is lost. Let there be at least 20 coups. Having embarked on the path of provocations, supporters of the separatists will no longer affect the result. They will only destroy the innocent people. One must be able to lose. The opponents of the signing of the peace treaty from Yerevan have nothing but political ambitions. They have nothing to offer the small Armenian population remaining in the territory of Karabakh. In 2021, Pashinyan accused senior military officials of plotting a coup following their demand for his resignation. This has added further momentum to the ongoing months-long protests calling for his resignation. Amid mounting pressure on Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, driven by protesters criticizing his handling of the war, the military issued a statement demanding his resignation. In response, Pashinyan dismissed Onik Gasparian, the head of the army's general staff. He subsequently took to the streets of Yerevan in an effort to rally support behind him. His move succeeded, with thousands turning out to support him. Armenia's Ministry of Defense released a statement affirming that the military is not a political entity, and any efforts to entangle it in political matters are deemed unacceptable. The ministry said, the army is not a political institution, and endeavors to entrench it in political processes are impermissible. Every such endeavor poses a risk to the stability and security of the Armenian Republic. In November 2020, Pashinyan announced that he had reluctantly entered into a deeply painful agreement with Russia and Azerbaijan to bring an end to the war, a move that came shortly after Azerbaijan's claim of capturing the strategically vital city of Shusha in the region. Anti-Pashinyan protests erupted soon after the agreement was signed. At one point, demonstrators even breached the parliament building and physically confronted the president of the National Assembly. However, tensions have since subsided in the following months. In that time, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov conveyed Russia's concern about the ongoing developments but emphasized that the situation was primarily an internal matter for the Armenian government.